Growing up, I always heard, by the year 2020 we will have XYZ. What should we have by now that we just don't? Submitted by Crankbot 2000. There was an article from Detroit in 1910 where people predicted what the future would be like in 2010, and one of the themes was everyone would be zipping around in pneumatic tubes, so I guess public transportation via pneumatic tubes. Well, for anyone who remembers when iRobot came out, Audi promised that the car that Will Smith drove in that scene underground would be a reality by, I think it was 2021 or something, so I intend to hold them to that. Old guy here, born in the 60s, we should all be in matching silver jumpsuits with flying cars. Hoverboards. Lots of energy from nuclear fusion, not fission, which we have been using. First of all, the future, or at least Hollywood, owes us an apology. Power loaders, a colonized moon and Mars, pretty much everything from Total Recall, a VR porn of Sharon Stone in her prime, interchangeable body parts, laser guns, sex robots, extremely fast and reliable public transportation. VR should be indistinguishable from the real thing by now. Any wall in your house should be able to display video or scenery. AI on robots should be commonplace now. Yet nobody predicted we would all have personal computers. Having printers that don't irritate me. A continental, high-speed rail system in the US. Like, come on. I'm still waiting for the eugenics wars. The male birth control pill. It's been 5 to 7 years away for the last 20 years, at least. Half-Life 3. Shit that just works. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. C-beams glittering in the dark near the Tannhauser Gate. Psychic biker gangs in Neo-Tokyo. Robots. Far too few robots in homes. The impending nuclear, economical, environmental apocalypse has been pushed back so many times. I'm starting to fear we won't see the end of civilization in our lifetime. Fresh new questions on AskReddit. Before any of you fuckers say flying cars, I don't trust any of you with left and right. You think I want you to have up and down too? Fuck that. Netflix has my list. We needed my blacklist for shit I don't want to be recommended again. I know that's not what you meant by the question, but damn, do I want it, lol. Back to the Future at the end of part 1 showed us having flying cars in 2015. Back to the Future Part 2 showed us hoverboards in 2015. Also, Mr. Fusion as a power source just needed trash to make the electrical energy to generate the 1.21 gigawatts needed for time travel. A moon base. It's the first but critically important step to becoming an interplanetary civilization. Fucking Back to the Future hoverboards. I've been wanting one since I saw the movies as a kid. Then 2015 came around with nothing but disappointment and emos. I honestly thought we would have flying cars, as stupid as that sounds. A girlfriend. Milk-based fuel. Faster commercial airplanes. It's barely improved since air travel was introduced. In fact, it's gotten more uncomfortable and stressful. These cool-ass climbing gloves from Black Ops 2. A good public healthcare system in the US. Good, reliable public transport in the US. Easy access to birth control in the US. Some checks on governmental corruption in the US. Martian and lunar colonies. A cure for cancer. Vaccinated kids. We still have all of Florida and most of it is supposed to be underwater. Course. It isn't 2020 yet. Teleportation. World War III. Competent world leaders. A clean planet. A shopping cart with 4 working wheels. Edit. Grammar. A 3 or 4 day working week with a converse 4 or 3 day leisure pattern. Flying cars. Jetpacks. Less reliance of fossil fuel. World peace. All those beauty pageant winners were full of shit. Functioning transit in Toronto. Weren't we supposed to have world peace and a cure for cancer years ago? Cheap, fast, accessible full body scanning for routine doctor's office visits. Dad coming back from the shop with milk. Competent politicians. Equality. World peace. A functioning ecosystem. Hoverboards. Political stability and common decency. Being able to stream any song, movie, or show on demand. I have the 3 major streaming services: Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon, and I still can't find certain things. I'll stop there before I get into my rant about how cable would cost $100 per month or whatever for only watching a handful of stations that still had commercials. And now we pay $10 minus $20 per month for separate services, which are creeping up to that cable price each month. Universal healthcare and affordable housing. Teleportation. Where is it? We were supposed to be able to travel somewhere instantly without fuss by now. But instead travel has just become more and more of a hassle. Well, according to Tom Clancy's End War, we should already have a United States of Europe, because is one of the 3 powers that will fight WW3. It will start in 2020. Where am I fucking used, Tom? Cries in Back to the Future's promise of real hoverboards. Universal healthcare in America. Flying cars. Flying cars. Milk. Time travel. Flying cars maybe. Many of them predicted this in the spread of electric cars. Only 1% of the US uses electric cars. Flying cars. A worthwhile society. The AI singularity. Headphone JACC. In 2013 I was told that the public would have flying cars by 2015. Still waiting on that. The metric system this year. Silent microwave ovens. Fully immersive VR, kinda like the full dive technology in SAO. A Bucky arm this year. Why is speech recognition still so clunky? We all know the joke of asking Siri or Alexa something, but it misunderstands you and brings up something completely unrelated but sorta sounds alike. However, that seems to happen most of the time. I remember back in elementary school there would be occasional little booklets given out about various science, technology-based items that would be hopefully common by 2020 to 2025. There were a lot of different things, like flying cars and robot butlers. And one of the only ones I remember the most was a door made out of metal bars that would separate to the correct size of who was passing through it. Unfortunately, I haven't seen any of them since the small image in the booklet. Common sense. Flying cars, they always said we would have them but not yet. Half-Life 3.